Hey, Armie.
Clint Eastwood.
There he is. How you doing?
Good to see you again. Welcome back to the show, bro.
How you
Thank
doing?
you very much for having me, man. We really had a good time with you last time.
That was fun.
Yeah, we were talking about Social Network.
Social network.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're way past that now, obviously.
Hey, it's beneath me at this point.
That's old hat.
That
Old
must be
hat
nice
now.
to just kind of have that.
It's not bad. Like, worse things have happened, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How was DiCaprio? I'm amazed they have him playing J. Edgar Hoover because he's so much better looking than Edgar Hoover was.
Yeah.
Really going out on a
I
limb there.
can't see that.
No, I mean, like, this is the crazy thing. As soon as I signed on to do this movie and I saw, you know, how Leo was going to look and all that, I went home and I was like, how the fuck are they going to sell this movie? Leo looks awful. Like, he's the sell of the point. He's the heartthrob. You know, he looks like a bulldog in the movie.
Oh, he looks bad.
They really ugly.
But they turned him into J. Edgar Hoover. He had like prosthetics in his mouth to push his cheeks out. Like he had the whole thing. Yeah,
Those big jowls.
he had the jowls. He was wearing 2 pairs of contacts at all times. You know, the whole thing. Yeah.
Why 2 pairs?
Because his eyes are those beautiful baby blues, as you know. But he put on brown contacts first, and then like big contacts to make his eyes kind of look glazy and old.
Oh God!
Yeah,
That's had to hurt.
That must have been really uncomfortable.
just all day. Like 1 pair of contacts is enough. He's got these 2, and I had to wear contacts that were the size of like dish plates in my eyes, so that I could get, you know, the bloodshot. And they do like the Arcus, that like soft white circle old people get around their eyes and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun stuff you never really get to do.
Did Leo gain weight too for his role?
I don't know. Like I wasn't like with him through the whole beginning of the process. I know that he was definitely wearing like prosthetics and stuff like that to make him look a little heavier. He probably gained a little bit of weight, I'm sure.
Is it harder to act like that with when you got stuff in your eye? Like when De Niro did Raging Bull, he had a prosthetic nose.
Yeah.
Which I didn't notice because it's black and white. But doesn't that distract from what you're doing?
In a way, it can, definitely, but also it helps. You know, it's like if you look in the mirror and you see an old person, it's like less work that you have to do in your imagination as an actor, I guess.
How old are you playing?
I start at like 27 and go all the way to 72.
Jeez.
But like several strokes and stuff like that, so it's like it's an aged 72. I look like a piece of leather by the end of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be bad.
Yeah.
And Hoover's love interest, right?
Yeah,
So how did that play out?
Man, it was dreamy. No, it was great, man. Oh, yeah.
Joe Frazier?
Yeah, Smoking Joe.
We
Been
had him
watching
in
this
here,
clip
man.
all morning.
You did, really?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I thought it was.
I thought it was like last year.
I know,
would
we
say.
really did, but he was awesome, man. What a great personality.
Oh, dude! Did you see that documentary where he was like, he plays? It was on HBO or something like that, and he plays his voicemail on his phone, and it's like, "You have reached Smoking Joe Frazier, the man who messed up Muhammad Ali," and like he's still going on and on and on about it.
Yeah.
That's what he was promoting, actually. It was a Thriller in Manila
Documentary.
The documentary,
Which was really good.
Yeah, it was
he
great.
played us the voicemail, too. He'll play it for anyone,
Oh,
man.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Watching that left hook, what's better than Frazier's left? It's not in this fight when he fucking floors Ali with that left hook.
It's incredible. I mean, he was, I mean, just an impeccable boxer, man. Just so much powerful and fun to watch and just like dynamic.
Impossible to hit.
Yeah.
It almost looked like he didn't know how to fight because he moved so much.
Right. Yeah, but he had like he was loose the whole time too. You know, he's like all over the place. He's fun to watch, man.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I know, right?
But he's just ducking and moving so much. But it's like he should have won 2 out of 3 of those fights. We were saying that earlier. It's like he didn't know that Ali said cut the gloves off me. He just didn't know that. Ali said in the Thriller Manila said cut the gloves off me.
Yeah.
And Frazier just gave up first.
I think.
Oh, man.
I think Armie's avoiding the question, though.
Which question?
Which question?
The love interest of.
Oh, dude,
Hoover.
I'll dive right in.
God, please.
All of a sudden he goes, "Oh wow, Frazier."
Yeah. No, you're talking about male-on-male love at boxing. Yeah, man. Yeah, right.
Clive Tolson or Clyde?
Clyde.
It is Clyde.
Yeah,
Okay,
Clyde.
Clyde Barker. So there was the rumors for years, but no one said it that they thought Edgar was gay. But nobody said that back then.
You'd have FBI
crazy.
guys going
Yeah.
through your trash. Like, there's no way you could. These were 2 of the most secretive and protective people of like the 20th century.
But is that in the movie though?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not in the movie that people couldn't say that they were or weren't gay, but the movie doesn't really take like a hard stance. Like, it doesn't say, yeah, these guys were boyfriends or anything
No
like that.
Brokeback Mountain scene.
No.
Oh,
You know,
so that's what we're getting at.
rear entry scene that they edited out. You know.
Spits in his fucking hand. And
Yeah.
Let's fly.
But you don't see, all you see is 2 polished sets of shoes. You don't see any sex happening, just one facing the back of the other.
We did it real artistic.
yeah, those oldie style shoes.
We just think it's funny because when Sean Penn played Harvey there, Harvey Milk,
yeah.
it was
And I
obvious.
want to recruit you.
Yeah, which was
I know you're angry. I'm angry.
That's it. Armie's a great guy.
That's hilarious.
Just goes with whatever.
Yeah,
he said. But it's funny to me that obviously Sean Penn negotiated how much gay stuff he would do. Because he had an all-out makeout scene, and then the rest of the scenes were done in shadows where you couldn't see if anything was going on.
Oh, so he's like, you get one kiss.
That's
that's
what
pretty
I'm
much
thinking. That he went with his people and said, "This is what we'll negotiate. I'll go all in for one fucking scene, and that is it. The rest you could like film around it." There were always shadows in the bed and stuff when they were like supposedly kissing.
What's the most I guess homoerotic scene in the movie as far as that really tips you off? Like, all right, they're a little more than just buddies.
Yeah, well, I found out they were more than buddies. Oh yeah, sorry. I found out they were more than buddies when I was doing my research, and I saw that there's a collection of photos that J. Edgar took of Clyde sleeping. And it's like, I mean, that is intimate. Yeah. So I have one of the pictures, which is incredible. But the most intimate scene we have in the movie is like it's this great scene. It starts in like a hotel room. And like they start talking, they're like, "Oh, did you see his shoes? Oh my God, how tacky!" Blah 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 blah. And then the subject of women comes up, and it's like, "Why are you talking about women? What is wrong?" And he's like, "Well, I'm thinking about marrying a woman." And then it's like the scene just like explodes, and they get into like an all-out fist fight, like beating the shit out of each other, blood everywhere. And then at the end of the fight, there's like one kiss, and it's like it does. I mean, it's not like when I signed on to this movie, all the women were like, "You get to kiss Leo, you're so lucky." And I'm like, I don't think you get what kind of kiss this is. There's broken glass and fake blood everywhere. Like it's pretty intense.
So they were like, they didn't live together, did they?
Yeah, at the end of their lives, yeah. They're buried next to each other. They lived together. Yeah, everything. When Hoover died, he left everything for Clyde.
Isn't it so weird that gay people are seen as like soft and like yet one of the most ruthless guys ever in this country was gay. It's so weird, this weird perception. Yeah, I don't know why I had to say that. I guess it's pretty obvious.
What I also liked in there, you got to see stuff that none of us get to see. Some of J. Edgar Hoover's files, right?
Yeah.
We're not seeing these pictures of Clyde sleeping.
No, I mean, it's not anything that I just went out and found, and it wasn't anything that production provided, because I didn't have a single conversation with Clint about the character or about the movie at all.
So they just
like, show up on this day, and we're going to work. And
did he also, give you files to go through and like check this shit out?
Nothing.
Oh, no. Okay.
Nothing.
He just gave you a script.
Just a script. But then I hired a researcher, and I just handed her the script, Amy Hammond, and I was like, find me everything.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's right. I had almost every picture of Clyde ever taken, going all the way back to his yearbook photo from 3rd grade.
How does that help you? Like, I'm sure it does, but what does it do when you look at all that stuff? Does it just kind of help you figure out what he might have been like? Or, I mean, what does it do for you?
Tons, dude. I mean, you see the person, and especially with Clyde, he's not J. Edgar Hoover. He was the behind-the-scenes guy, so nobody knows anything about him. He was secretive, and that's the way he liked it. He liked, being in the background. Going through all that, I had all of his letters that he wrote to his brother. I mean, I had all those things.
The
like
Cheever letters.
Yeah. And then like Freedom of Information Act, I had like a bunch of stuff and all that kind of shit. And then, but the thing that was the most helpful were the pictures. It's like, because, they were so protected that, when you'd write a letter, it's like, I hope you are finding yourself in good health. I am as well. And everything was so, stilted and old school.
Eloquent.
So, yeah. So really where I got most of the stuff from was looking through all the pictures. It's like, because you can't lie about body.
Right.
How's Clint Eastwood? Is that just amazing?
He's epic.
Yeah?
I mean, it's still bizarre to walk into a room and see him there. Like, we've worked together now for a long time. Like, we have a great relationship, but still, you're just like...
Wait, you had other projects?
There's fucking Clint Eastwood. No, just like this project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he intimidating as a director? I know as a person he has to be, but...
As a person, he's the most intimidating.
Yeah, that guy's fucking Clint Eastwood.
Anything you say, but as a director, he's the best. Like,
is he really?
Yeah. I mean, if we were going to shoot a scene in this room, we'd walk in, like me, Leo, and him, before anybody else got there, and he'd go, okay, well, this is where we're going to do the scene, so do you guys want to put it on his feet? And it's like, sure, where do you want us to stand? And he'll go, anywhere you want. Just like, really? All right, yeah.
Oh, he kind of lets you as actors do
everything, yeah.
I guess that's the advantage to an actor directing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Because he wouldn't want a director, on his ass, like telling him, you got to do it like this, you got to do this. So he doesn't do it. If he likes your audition, he likes something you did.
He understands the actor.
Yeah, so just come in and do that. Yeah.
But he always wanted to bring an orangutan in on the scene. Where's the orangutan?
Especially with the name too, right? Turn, Clyde. No. So did you? Was there anything? If he didn't like something, what would he say to you? How would he tell you, like, to? Because I heard Kubrick would just make you do it and do it and do it.
Yeah,
right. What would Clint do if he didn't like something?
Very little. I mean, there wasn't much that we did that he didn't like, because we're pretty awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
But no, like he would be really subtle about things. Like he would just go. I mean, I remember one scene we did. He goes, "All right, it's getting a little gay. Let's back it up a little bit." And we're like, "All right, sorry."
It's getting a little gay.
Yeah.
Like, you probably wanted to keep. If you make it too much, that you kind of.
Yeah.
take away from the rest of the story.
Right. And this wasn't the main part of the story. The main part of the story was J. Edgar and sort of creating the FBI and sort of the tormented life he led. So.
Did you paint Tolson as the more, because you said he was secretive and you went over, but he was the behind the scenes. Like a lot of people think Bush Cheney. Cheney is the more ruthless of the guys because he was more the second. Did you paint him as the more ruthless guy, or do you think he was?
He was. He definitely was. He had a reputation in the FBI as like the hatchet man, because J. Edgar, who actually was ruthless, would say, get rid of that guy. And it would be Clyde who'd have to go up to him and go, oh, wow. Look, dude, you're fired. Sorry, submit your resignation, like that kind of thing. He had a reputation in the FBI. Like if he was walking down a hallway, people would go into rooms that they weren't even supposed to be in just to like get out of the way of the hallway. Yeah.
Were they supposed to be lovers before, or did it occur while they were in the FBI together?
They met when Clyde came in to sort of interview for the job at the FBI, and that's where they met. And that's like
young brash man comes in to interview.
Yeah.
Love at first sight.
Yes.
Do they address Melvin Purvis at all? He was an agent that Hoover
Melvin Purvis,
had,
G-Man.
He had the hots for, supposedly.
Yeah, Purvis is in the movie. Smaller parts,
Who plays Purvis?
Oh, dude, what was his name?
Okay, he's not like a...
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like 2 scenes for Purvis.
Okay.
What about the interaction between like Hoover and Nixon?
Yeah, you've got that in there for sure.
That's huge.
Who's playing Nixon?
I don't know, but he's got the Nixon voice.
Really?
Yeah. He's like,
I never get the face down.
Cocksucker. Yeah.
What did you say about Hoover?
Yeah. He's like, as soon as he finds out Hoover dies, he goes on camera and he's like, America has lost a hero. And then as soon as it cuts, he's like, get that cocksucker files. I want them all.
Fucking Nixon.
Nixon was a trip.
Wasn't the thing...
sounds cool.
That they didn't know where his files were. That's why no one could kill him.
No, his secretary shredded them all. Helen Gandy. The day he died, he had an agreement with his secretary. He had his own like private and personal confidential files. He said, as soon as I die, they're coming for it. He knew they would. So he was just like, get rid of everything. So the day he died, she went into work, signed in, and shredded all of his files.
Why wouldn't they sneak into his office while he was still alive?
They tried, but by the time they found out that he was dead, she had already got the call from his housekeeper and had started doing all the stuff.
But didn't they not know where all of his files were? Wasn't that the big fear with Hoover, is that say you got rid of him, somebody else knows where other shit is that we don't know. Yeah. So if he's alive, at least he's
I don't know
protecting
if there's a copy out there of all the files, right?
I like the fact that at least he had them. I'm surprised he didn't just turn them over to Tolson, though. Why didn't he do that? Or you don't?
Tolson was really sick by the end. He had one foot in the grave by that point.
Who died first, Hoover?
Hoover, yeah.
You must be a great actor.
Who?
Because I can't imagine you playing a ruthless role. But everyone's saying that you were amazing in this movie. So,
thanks.
Roland saw it. He said, "Holy shit, this movie was great." Yeah.
How was it? Were you intimidated at all by DiCaprio, or do you not get intimidated by other actors?
I don't know, man. I don't really get like that intimidated by many people except for Clint. But like my first day, I walk onto set and they go, okay, everything moves really quickly here. We just want you to know. So go to your trailer, get ready. We'll come get you when we need you. We need you. And it's like, okay, let's go. So I walk onto set and there's like, have a seat in this chair. And I sit down and I look over and it's like, Leonardo DiCaprio, all right. And then it's like, oh shit, and Judi Dench, and now Clint Eastwood. This is too much. I mean, like the first day was a lot. Yeah.
Had you rehearsed with them or no?
No, nothing. Well, Leo and I had rehearsed. Like I went over to his house a couple times and just sort of talked about it. And
How's
like
that? Going over his house?
Yeah, it was great. Like the first time I was just like,
what'd you see that you went, holy fuck?
What did I see? What can I say?
I know it's a loaded question, but
yeah. He's got an impressive art collection and just like cool shit.
Picasso's?
I didn't see any Picasso's.
Any stolen art?
Probably. Yeah.
It's all hot.
Yeah. Norwal tusks. I mean, like all
dogs
kinds of
playing
stuff.
poker.
Yeah. Hey, that's a fun painting.
So you won't actually go over the lines and get down. Okay, you're going to do this. I'm going to do that. You guys both just kind of on your own go over that and get it.
Yeah.
And then when you meet in his house, you kind of just loosely rehearse it.
When we met at his house, we just sort of talked through it. Like we would say, okay, then I say this, blah, blah, blah. And then he would say his line, and I go, okay, this is it. And we would really just read through the scenes.
Just to get the dialogue.
Yeah, just to get the rhythm of it, just to sort of understand it. But like Clint wanted to keep us very raw and instinctual. I think that's why he doesn't do a lot of rehearsals.
Now, why is that? What is he?
I think he likes what he gets. He likes that, we have a fight scene in the movie and he didn't give us choreography. He was just like,
holy
fight
shit.
it out.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, so it was literally just like two men just like grabbing and like wrestling and shaking, and I mean, it looked like a real fight for two guys who didn't know how to fight, which is like what it should have been. Because like, you can't go at him with like a jab cross, it's like it had to be guys who didn't know what they were doing, and it's just like frustration more than anything. So yeah.
Just start slapping each other.
Yeah. We're just one step above that. Yeah.
Did you audition for this, or did they come to you and go, look, we would love you to play this guy?
No. Clint had no idea who I was. He hadn't seen Social Network either. Like the first day on set, he was like, "Oh, I hear you have a movie I have to see." And I was like,
"Oh my god!"
I was like, "You haven't seen that? What am I doing here, dude? Like seriously?"
I never saw Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
So there you go.
About that. Best line in the fucking Dirty Harry's was when he says to the boss, "Your mouthwash ain't making it." The guy's yelling in his face. Oh, what a fucking cool guy thing to say that is, man.
The best Clint answer that I've heard so far is, he suffers he suffers no fools. So we were doing an interview with a lady, and she was asking him a question, and she was just like, "So did you know anything about J. Edgar and the FBI?" And he's like, "I was alive, yeah." And she was like, oh, well then, were you fascinated by J. Edgar? Were you always just intrigued by the man? And he goes, "No." She goes, "Well, why'd you do the movie?" And he goes, "I like the script."
Good. She must have been pissing herself.
Felt this big, I'm sure.
He probably just was tired of her and her dumb questions. Good for him.
Yeah.
And he's Clint Eastwood. He doesn't have to appease anybody.
How old is he now?
He's 75. Is he 80?
82.
82.
Yeah. Wow. And he's going to outlive us all.
Yeah.
In between camera setups, he'll set up a shot and go, you're going to do this, this, and this. And they'll go, "Okay, we need, 10 minutes to set it up." And he'll go, "Okay." And he'll go out of the stage to a gym that he has built everywhere he goes and lift weights in between camera setups.
Does he really?
Dude, he's got, his arms are big. Like, when he put on, a demonstration of the fight for us, and, it was just he and his buddy Van Horn, and they're both, octogenarians. Buddy's been a stuntman and with him since Rawhide, and they're just, wailing on each other and the whole thing.
Please.
Yeah, it's incredible. And I'm watching Clint fight, and I'm like, this old man could beat the shit out of me. No joke.
That's fucked up, man.
Wow. Jay Moore had a good Clint Eastwood story
he did.
about him getting annoyed at somebody. Did he?
I've heard the story.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
And did you find him annoyed at anybody on the set, or was there no problems like that?
No, his set, his crew, it's the newest guy on the crew has been with him for 5 movies, and he's still the new guy,
Oh, yeah.
So, everybody knows his deal. Everybody knows how he works. Everybody knows sort of how to make him happy, and everybody does,
Back in those days with Hoover, too, was there any, in JFK in the movie, they show Pesci's character talking about Hoover, and they show apparently those weird pictures of them at parties and shit like that.
Yeah.
Was it known that he was gay, or was that just something that the fucking inside Washington?
No, it was known. It was known in as much as people knew that confirmed bachelors at the time were gay. Gay wasn't gay wasn't a word for them. It was happy. It's in almost every song. It's I'm so gay. It meant different things. So people didn't know. They don't have gaydar like we do now.
That's why we talk about that whole thing with the confirmed bachelor.
Yeah.
Here he is, ladies. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's a loyal friend to this man, but he's looking.
Yeah.
It's really? No, I
he
don't
and his
think he
companion would love to take you out to dinner and shopping.
Yeah. But the news guy had to know.
A Broadway show.
He was just playing his part too?
Yeah, probably. Turned off the recorder, went, "Cocksucker."
What year did he die? 72?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
It's amazing
Almost
how
40 years.
that legend is still fucking very powerful. His name is still it's a frightening name. He's a frightening guy.
Roland's saying there's an Oscar movie. It's kind of an Oscar movie.
I mean,
Not gone without, right?
from Roland's mouth to God's ears.
Well, if nothing comes out of Roland's mouth.
I was going to say, if God
only
listens
goes
to
in.
Roland.
Yeah, exactly. Roland has to go to God to get certain bookings. Just
God said your mouthwash ain't cutting it.
What a great line, right?
Fantastic.
Does Clint act at all anymore, or no? Is he strictly directing?
I don't know. I think he would. I think he's going to.
What was his last movie as an actor?
Gran Torino, I think.
Oh, right, sure.
Yeah.
He was good in that.
Yeah, he was really
great,
good, man.
Yeah, but a cranky old racist.
Yeah.
What was that other one? Perfect World? Was that?
Hereafter?
No, that was the one with the kid and who the fuck else was in that? Was it Costner? Kevin Costner kidnaps the little kid.
Oh, fuck, dude.
That was one of his.
Totally got me.
Yeah, let me say, Kevin Costner. Yeah, people are going, yeah.
And what was it called?
I think it was Perfect World.
Perfect World, okay.
Yeah, well, I liked it. $1 Million Baby.
Yeah.
Well,
I love Hilary
that's
Swank.
a few years ago now. Fine, Are you going to be the Lone Ranger?
I am, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's exciting, man, for sure. I love westerns. Like, they're one of my favorite genres, and they don't make a lot of them. So to get to be in one, and be the Lone Ranger.
Have you know how to ride?
No, I do know how to ride. We have not started. We start February.
Oh, okay.
Now, knowing how to ride, is it because you grew up riding, or do you just?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of family in Texas. My grandparents live in Oklahoma. We go there for the summer and stuff like that. Yeah.
You don't hold on to the horn.
No way, man. No way.
No way, man.
I'll do the no hands, standing on the horse. You know,
And Johnny Depp is playing Tonto.
Is that still true?
Is it
still true?
He just seems like he wants to play odd roles. Like he's just got bored with pieces.
Never plays the same thing twice, really, unless it's a sequel. But
it makes it fun to watch his movies, you know.
Yeah.
And you've done no rehearsing or any of that stuff for that?
No, I've never met Johnny. Like, haven't talked to him or anything like that.
How about Clayton Moore? Are you going to look him up?
Yeah, the original. Yeah, talk about holding on to something like for way too long. Like he J. Edgar Hoovered the Lone Ranger for sure.
Yeah. Well, they had issues with him also wearing the mask. Remember that? They wouldn't let him wear the mask.
They forced him to stop wearing the mask.
Big cataract sunglasses. He would have cataract surgery and put those things on.
How do you force a guy from not wearing a mask as an old guy?
What a terrible lawyer he must have had. Not be able to wear a mask.
Let him wear the mask. It's all he's got in his life.
You know.
Jesus.
He had to yell, Hio Argentium.
Yeah, that was very good. I think Steven Singer's going to love that.
Tie-in Steven Singer's.
Yeah.
And also you're doing something with Julia Roberts.
Yeah, we just finished.
You did it already?
Yeah, we finished like a month and a half ago. It was now it's called Mirror Mirror, but it was a Snow White story.
I certainly hope the cover isn't you two back to back with your arms folded looking at each other over your shoulder.
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately, those decisions are way above my pay grade.
Those.
Is it a rom-com?
Yeah, it's like a rom-com fairy tale adventure.
I like rom-trage.
Rom-trage
are great.
Tragic roms.
Yes. Yeah. It starts off really happy and fun, and just before they go to Europe, there's an axe murder. This doesn't belong in the movie.
So I always find it weird. J. Edgar, when did you guys finish that? A while ago, right?
Yeah, beginning of this year.
And now you have to go backwards to talk about this movie, even though you've already done another
movie. That is an
movie.
odd thing.
I always found that weird
really
with
strange.
you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird part of the job. Like, having to go on a press tour and from 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, answer the same questions normally
and it's shit
over and
you've
over
done
and over.
years ago. Or sometimes
in a way,
years ago,
don't you feel like you put that behind you already, and you're moving on to your, you know what I mean?
You have to for your own mental health and sanity. You can't hang on to all that shit.
And all of a sudden they call you and go, it's time to promote that. Like, wow, that was like 9 months ago, man.
Yeah,
but there's a weird thing. They're done with this movie, and they go back and do the other one, and then you'll do this Lone Ranger movie, and then you'll start promoting the Julia Roberts movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm explaining his schedule to him. I've done fucking 4 lines in a bunch of horrible films. I've been in nothing more than a D film. So you played Julia Roberts' love interest.
More like lust interest. Like, she's like the queen who's evil, and I'm like this young prince who comes into the kingdom from a wealthy place, and she's like, hello.
So wait, do you get to make out with DiCaprio and Julia Roberts in back-to-back films?
Didn't make out with Julia Roberts.
Wow. All right, well, I'd probably make out with him, though.
Well, DiCaprio's good enough.
Just for the story.
He has the softest lips, I tell
Does
you.
he really? Was it weird, though? Like, I mean, as an actor, you got to do it. And again, if he's doing it, you got to do it. But
you know what's crazy? You know what the weirdest thing about it? I was expecting it to be a little bit strange just because I don't kiss dudes in my personal life, you know.
Right?
So, So, but I was shocked at how much it just felt like kissing. Like, it didn't feel. It didn't feel like. It didn't feel weird. Like afterwards, I wasn't like toothbrush or anything like that. You know, I mean. I get why my wife likes it when I shave now, but other than that, like, it really just felt like kissing in a weird way.
Did you keep going, all right, Clint, I think we need one more. I think we need one more here.
Did you suggest that you two rehearse that when you were at his house? Like, look, dude, I know it's weird, but we should rehearse the kiss scene.
No, Leo wanted to rehearse, and he wanted to go back and do it after we even finished the scene to see if we could perfect it in any way. And I was like, dude, I think we got it, you know?
How many times did you have to do it?
Not many. I mean, maybe 10.
Is it a soft kiss, or is it like a kiss?
No, it's in the middle of like a fist fight. It's I don't even know if I should be saying all this, but yeah,
that's all right. That makes me, believe me, that makes me want to see the film. Knowing that there's you were comfortable doing it, I guess.
I mean,
was that your first time ever kissing a guy?
Yeah.
That's got to make it like a little nerve-wracking. Yeah, I would think.
Yeah. It's like my first kiss on camera. Oh my gosh.
Was that your first on-camera kiss or
not? No, with the dude.
Look at him.
Dude, I don't know.
Fucking playing Quasimodo.
I kissed one person on camera in my life. It was Nina Hartley, the old porn girl.
The porn girl.
We made out. We did a comedy short, which we shot the comic strip. And at the end of it, she and I make out. So I go to her dressing room. I'm like, I never kissed a girl on camera before, but because she was a porn girl, I was trying to be more respectful.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, come here, baby. And she starts making out with me in the dressing room, and she's rubbing my dick. And then she was just to get me turned on.
That's how Leo does it.
And she's like, she's like, we're supposed to be into each other. And then when we're kissing on the set, she takes my hand and she puts it on her tit. She goes, come on, you know you want to. And she was just great.
You're like, yeah, I do.
She turned me on in front of a full set of people.
Wow.
I still think DiCaprio's a cooler kiss, though, even though I enjoyed kissing her a lot. But
Did you make out with Leo?
In real life, no. Unless he'd put me in a movie. But on camera, I like to do any of it. It's like, you know, it doesn't, to me, if you realize it's DiCaprio, it's not a gay thing. It's just, you're both just doing a role.
Just actors.
It's a hell of an opportunity, you know? Seriously.
Acting.
Do you mean to co-star with him?
Yeah, to get to even be in that movie with him and, you know, Clint and the whole thing.
And that's probably his first time doing that on camera as well.
No, he's done it. I think he kissed a dude in Basketball
Diaries, right.
And also...
Did he really?
Yeah. I think so.
I remember. Okay.
What else did he do? The
guy in Basketball Diaries got the young DiCaprio, too.
Yeah,
in the bathroom.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, he mentioned he had a funny story about doing Basketball Diaries because their kiss was, I think it was Basketball Diaries. I don't know. It's like much more intimate, but he was like, you know, he talked to the dude before the kiss. He's like, all right, let's choreograph this. I'm going to keep my tongue on this side of the mouth. You keep your tongue over there.
Wow.
And I'm going to run my tongue on the inside of my cheek from the front to the back so it looks like your tongue, but it's not going to be. It's going to be my tongue. Keep your tongue out of my mouth. Yeah, like they had like a whole like choreography for it.
I wonder if that was more awkward than actually just doing it.
The conversation of just like...
Yeah, how are you gonna do it?
Because you're kind of not... if you're male prostituting yourself, which I think he was doing in that film, you're not supposed to like kissing another older or whatever guy, so you just... You know.
So it would be natural to kind of be repulsed.
I think Will Smith wouldn't do it in... he probably would now, but in 6 Degrees of Separation, he was supposed to kiss, right? And he wouldn't...
Yeah, he said he regrets it now.
He did say he regrets it? Yeah.
Did they like bring in a body double or...
Maybe they just cut away. I don't remember, to be honest. I don't
brought in
think
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
He's like, hey, who I
Finally
kiss
got
here,
work.
man?
Yeah. Finally gave him some work. Kiss this man for me.
When you're doing a movie, do you start to think, like, because you were great in The Social Network, and do you start to think Oscar? Is it hard to not think of it? Like, if someone mentions Oscar, does it start to play in your head? Like, fuck, man, I might be able to.
No, not at all. I mean, especially not when you're making the movie. Yeah, I was just too nervous about dropping the ball. You know, it's like you really just focus on the job at hand. And I think, like, as an actor, it's like one of the luxuries of my job as opposed to the directing and all that is when I'm done on the movie, I'm done on the movie. It's like I walk away. And it's like I have officially finished my work on J. Edgar. So anything that happens after this point, it's just a fun ride. Like I get to enjoy it, like the fruits of my labor, I guess. But it's not like anything I'm thinking about before.
When you see a final cut of it, is there anything that they take out that you're like, fuck, I wish they would have left that, or man, I thought we did a better take, but maybe this one was just shot better? Do you go through that when you watch a final cut?
Yeah, there was one scene. That they took out that at first I was like, that's really a great scene that sort of shows you more of Clyde's sort of personality. But then after I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? No, it flows better. Like it's right that they took it out. You know?
Did you talk to anybody who actually knew Clyde? Like anybody in his family?
Yeah, I did. No, no one in his family. But I talked to Deke DeLoach, who was like an FBI agent with Edgar and Clyde and all those guys back in the day. Got nothing from him. I mean, you talk to him, it's like the same thing. He's like, well, of course, they had nothing but the most professional of relationships. You're like, all right, I'm going to stop you here. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
I'll
for
talk to you
wasting
later.
my time. Thank you.
He wouldn't give you the skinny, right?
Nothing.
How old is the guy?
He's got to be in his 90s.
Holy
but still sharp. Damn. Like he'll say to you, on November 3rd, Clyde came in with a memo about this, and you're just like, whoa, dude, you're talking about something 70 years ago or something.
So he was giving you information, but he didn't give you any real insight into the guy himself?
Nothing, yeah.
How did you only got that just by watching tape and looking at photos?
Photos definitely helped. Photos were probably the most helpful thing, but then also his letters and stuff like that, and memos that he would write to J. Edgar in the FBI that, you know, became declassified later and stuff like that I had.
Did you find anything in the letters, like to Edgar, that seemed like when you're looking back with perfect hindsight, like, wow, that could have been something one lover would say to another, even though nothing at all?
Wow. Nothing. I went back and reread all the stuff before we started doing all the press stuff just so I could sort of refamiliarize myself with it. Nothing. I mean, those guys were faults.
What was the most, in a photograph, what was the most revealing thing that you, or accidentally revealing thing that you thought you might have seen? Because you said
the sleeping photos.
Oh, that Edgar took of him.
Edgar took of Clyde. Yeah. That was definitely the most revealing thing. And also, the picture of him when he was 7. He went to a school that had dirt floors in Laredo, Missouri, And, you know, people are dressed like farmers, and then there's, like, Clyde Tolson standing in the photo with, like, the perfect suit,
Oh,
you know,
shit.
the pocket square, the watch fob, the hair perfectly combed, a bow tie, and you're like,
What's he doing there?
yeah, seriously, it's like, oh, he knew this about himself from a young age, all right. And he did. Like, he was as open as someone could be in the time. I mean, on his application to the FBI, he actually put, I have no interest in women. I mean, that's 1920s code for, I'll put that in my mouth if you want me to, you know? So, I mean, it was interesting, man.
It's such a cool role to play, man, because he's such a guy that nobody ever talks about, but was such an important guy, because everybody knows Hoover, and most people don't know that fucking, there was a second half to that.
Yeah. Clyde really kept him on track. You know, Hoover, if left to his own devices, would do things like, you know, fire all the agents. We're going to hire new ones. And Clyde would be like, calm down, take a breath, breathe into this bag, you know.
He was like the codependent partner who knew he was dealing with kind of a fucking fly off the handle.
Yeah, totally.
Was the I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask, what do you know about some of the stuff, because you did some research there, with the celebrities like John Lennon and
yeah, he did not like anybody. I mean, he really distrusted everybody equally. He hated John Lennon. I mean, it's funny, man. He didn't change. Like, when he started in the early 1920s, communism was a serious threat. They were blowing shit up. You know, they were trying to overthrow the country. So he was like, wow, this is a serious problem. So he made communism sort of his thing. And then he never got past it. So then, you know, cut to the civil rights movement where it's like, no, this is a good uprising of the people. Like, this is not communism. This is a good thing. But he still was like, no, this is bad. Uprisings are communists. I know it. And that's sort of the attitude he always maintained.
Who did he like is the better question.
Shit.
It seemed like he hated everybody.
Yeah, was he religious at all?
Was there a short list of people he actually liked and admired?
Clyde, I think. Clyde and Helen Gandy, his assistant.
Literally it.
That was it, yeah.
He had no real friends, no real celebrity friends or any of that shit?
Yeah, nothing. Wow. I mean, he had, like, celebrity friends, and he was a man about town, and he was, like, one of the most powerful dudes in D.C.
Yeah.
So he could go to any restaurant and, like, sit with, you know, Leela Rogers or whatever. I mean, he had the best seats always. But, you know, he'd sit down and have a dinner with them, and they'd think, oh, it's, you know, so wonderful. He's our great friend. And then, you know, he'd die, and, like, you know, things would become declassified. He had files on all of them, you know, logging everything they said. I actually, a dude interviewed me for the press tour, and after the interview, he was like, you know, my dad met J. Edgar Hoover when he was 8 years old because my government, or his dad used to work for the State Department or something like that. And he said when he was 8 years old, he met J. Edgar in his office, and he said to me, he goes, Mr. Hoover, I'm so glad that the FBI is here protecting and keeping the American people safe. And he was like, oh, you're a true patriot, blah, 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 blah. And he said years later, it all became declassified, and there was a file on this 8-year-old kid, and the only thing in the file was a piece of paper that said, on this day, he told the director that he's happy about the FBI. And that's it.
I wonder if he was OCD.
For sure.
You think he was OCD, and that's how he dealt with information?
He could not throw away anything. He had to log everything. I mean, I can't say conclusively he had OCD, but I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire.
There were signs.
There was rumors too that I'd heard that he was part black, or was that not addressed in the film at all? It may have just been a rumor that was just not completely unfounded.
I don't know. I never.
Oh, it didn't. Okay. And did they address? I guess the Robert Kennedy, because didn't he hate Robert Kennedy?
Hated both the Kennedys
for going over his head to JFK.
And there's definitely it touches on the Kennedy thing, and it touches on the fact that J. Edgar was the first person to know he was assassinated. He was the first person to call and say, the president has been shot, your brother's dead, and then hang up. And then the next day he was at the racetracks. You know, I mean, yeah.
Didn't Robert Kennedy hate the fact that he had to hear that from Hoover? I heard he hated the fucking fact that J. Edgar told him.
Dude, wouldn't you hate hearing about, your family member dying by, like, someone you hate?
Someone you can't stand, right?
Yeah.
And is gloating.
Who might have had something to do with it. Like, those are sort of the conspiracy theories, you know?
Does it imply that at all in the film? Do they do they touch that, or do they leave that alone?
They touch on the call. They touch on, you know, their very tense relationship, but it doesn't draw any conclusions.
Yeah, I always thought it was kind of far-fetched.
This movie sounds great.
Yeah, I really want to see it, especially with the guys playing, you playing Tolson and, of course, DiCaprio.
Yeah, DiCaprio nails it, man. He's incredible in the movie.
Isn't that great that DiCaprio takes a role like that? It's not a sexy role.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a powerful role, but it's not a good look. You got to ugly yourself up. I like the fact that he did that.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 5 other movies where he's going to be that guy.
Yeah,
he's doing Gatsby at the same time, where he's like,
glamorous.
Jerry. I know.
Every once in a while, he's going to ugly it up a bit.
He wants to see what it's like to feel like me for 20 minutes. How humiliating. I hate him for that, actually.
He's bored, so he goes that way for a a while, and then he goes back to being the pretty boy.
That's still got to be a nice choice to make. Like, I'm going to play some fucking kind of chubby, ugly, fucking rotten motherfucker, and then I'll win everybody back with the...
I mean, if I was Leo DiCaprio and, like, I had to be on point all the time, I was like, wait, I can play this chubby dude? I'm going to eat cheesesteaks every day. Great, I love this job.
I have an excuse.
Is there anybody you wouldn't play, or is there any type of... Like, because Kevin Bacon played a pedophile in The Woodsman, and he was very good.
It was good, yeah.
And it was a creepy, uncomfortable role.
Totally.
Is there anything you wouldn't do that you're like, I just couldn't?
No.
Oh, you don't care?
No, I mean, I think, I think it's silly to sort of put those sort of parameters on anything. Like, I don't know, man. Before this, I had reservations about playing a gay guy just because I was like, I don't know, like, it's not me, it's not, but then I was like, you know what, no, this is an opportunity, like, and I'm an actor, so I can do things in my, professional life that I don't do in my personal life. You can be conservative in your life and crazy in your art,
Do you create backstories? Like, I know Meryl Streep, they said, always has a secret that her, that her character doesn't tell the other characters. Do you do that? Do you keep a secret from the other, or do you create a backstory, or do you just take it for what it is on the page?
I try to go about it a little differently. I sort of approach it as intellectually as possible. Like, I know a lot of acting is, sort of about emotion and dealing with emotion, but, I think if you can understand who a character is and sort of where he comes from, not just like what he did, it helps you. Like, I think that it's a good thing to be able to sort of assume the headspace of your character as opposed to having to draw on like your own emotions all the time. That can be really draining,
Plus, a real guy like Tolson, too, there's actual real tape to go to.
And that dude had secrets anyway, so I didn't have to actually make any up.
So did you watch video of him talking and stuff? Was there anything hard in his mannerisms to make your own?
He's very like the walk and everything is very like stilted and like tight and controlled, and like I'm like typically a sloucher mostly, so it was like I'd always have to remind myself, but it was helpful. Like,
why do you guys got to copy that shit? No one knows.
The what?
I would just walk as me and go, this is how he walked. I don't understand the details sometimes that you guys go through.
Because, man, we're actors. We take this seriously.
I hear you're a gun enthusiast.
Yeah, I do like guns, yeah.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool. I do.
You guys can't really have guns in New York, I don't think.
Oh, boy, you have no idea.
Please.
It might have a few.
No,
he might have a few.
This is the golden ticket, my friend. That's impossible.
It's a picture of the mayor blowing someone.
That's impossible.
How did you get this?
Because I'm a radio personality. I've had death threats and things, so they...
From other people who work with
What
them.
do you carry? Do you mind if I ask?
H&K 40.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah. It's. I heard you and your wife exchange gifts of guns.
We did.
That's cool.
I thought it would be really funny one year to give her a gun as a Christmas gift, oh, she's gonna fucking flip. This is gonna be great. And I hand her the present, and then she hands me a present, and I just shook it, and I go, "This feels exactly like what I just handed you." Multiple guns. There you go.
That
rules. It's funny.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then you both re-gifted it to other people.
What do you like shooting?
Anything and everything. I have a little collection of handguns. I have like a great 1911 a Kimber 45 that I love. 6-hour P226. A couple rifles, shotguns.
I picked up a Barrett 50.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah. Take it out to Calverton.
Have you shot it yet?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
What is it? Is it like $3 a round?
It's about $4.50 a round. It's Browning machine gun ammo.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's just off the chain and in a magazine.
That's fantastic. And I shot one of those in Texas one time.
It's crazy. I was saying the kick isn't bad. It's the concussion.
Yeah.
Like blows
and the
your
ball
fucking
of flame that like scorches the earth in front of it. I mean, it's like
everything goes.
Wow, really?
No, it's like if someone's laying on the ground and they've got it on like the tripod and they're laying down, the gun is so heavy. I mean, I think that's why the recoil's not bad, because it weighs like 70 pounds.
It's really heavy, and the grip and where you put it and everything. It's really stable, but you can't do anything about just that much energy being released in your face
it's like a stick of dynamite.
I was saying it feels like I have the flu for 5 seconds.
Oh,
like you get all kind of like, whoa. I don't know how the soldiers.
And they're
like,
popping up
just
round after
bam,
round
bam,
after
like,
round. Yeah.
After like 5 rounds, you start going, hey, you want to shoot this? Anyone, you want to do this? Please? I need a break.
No, but it's crazy. Like when you shoot it, like the ground. You know how it's like? Have you ever seen in the movies like when they do a big explosion and all the dust just looks like it raises, like anti-gravity? It's like the ground does that around the gun, and it's like, and like a 6-foot flame shoots out the front of it, and you can see like the mark on the ground where it's. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, at least you didn't keep it in an irresponsible place. You know, your 50 cal. I didn't walk in and see it on his fucking kitchen table.
Well, I was cleaning it. You got to keep your guns clean, especially your automatics and your semis. You got to keep those things clean. I think that's what happens a lot of times when people like click, click.
Yeah.
Like I always say, thank God for that, because a lot of times, bad people that shouldn't have guns, that aren't allowed to have them technically, they get a lot of misfires. It's good, because you don't usually see those guys going like, yeah, let me clean this.
Yeah, let me take this slide off,
clean
the action up. Yeah,
it's just a gummy mess. But no, I like the smell of a nice clean gun. You open up the breech and get a little sniff in there.
That like Tetra gun oil smell.
Yeah, that. And after you shot it at the range, so it's got a little powder smell to it. That shit's great. I'm glad. Good. Another Second Amendment.
Now you really like Army.
Fan.
Well, do you feel safer with your wife having a gun in the house? Because if you're gone, at least you know that she's got something there in case some fucking
we live in a building, like an apartment building, so it's. I mean, there's so many doors that people could pick to break into. I'm sure statistically ours won't get chosen, so I'm not that worried about it. But I definitely do I feel safer knowing that it's there.
Women I've dated, I would feel just the opposite, knowing that it was there. Yeah. And have to point at me in the middle of a fucking argument. It's horrifying. You must really trust her.
Yeah, I do.
It's just that situation.
And I only got her at 22, so if she really shoots me, I might be like,
you might be able to walk it off.
Yeah.
I've always been from the school of, I'd rather have one than not have one. And I think no matter how staunch anti-gun you are, if a situation ever occurred where you're sitting there in your living room with phone cord around your arms and watching your wife or daughter being ravaged, the one thing you wish you had would be a gun.
That's dark, dude. I get it, but that's dark.
But it is. But you gotta sometimes get that dark to make you realize, like, yeah, you're so anti-gun, but there's a time and a place for it.
You threw in all the hot stuff,
the hot things,
being tied up and ravaged.
And I'm not a hunter either. I don't like hunting. I just like target shooting.
Do you hunt?
Target shooting.
No, I like skeet shooting and I like target shooting and stuff like that.
It's a good challenge, just to see if you can.
It's more fun, and I mean, you can go skeet shooting and shoot, a couple hundred skeet, and it's like you leave and you're like, I didn't have to kill anything. Like,
you didn't kill anything. You're not sitting out in the cold.
Well, the thing where it's like I feel safer is I was in Australia working on a film, and I almost got stabbed by a homeless dude.
Jeez.
And like from that moment on, I was like, I never want to be the dude without the knife. It's like that was like I didn't have any way to protect myself. Like thankfully, I dodged it when he stabbed at me, and I punched him. And he got knocked out.
What's the story?
We were in Australia. We were in King's Cross, which is like the shady part of Australia, like what the meatpacking used to be, like kind of thing.
Oh, before it got all fancy and yucky. Yeah.
I went out in the meatpacking recently, and I had like nice jeans and like dress shoes on and like a coat, and they're like, sorry, you can't come in. You're wearing jeans. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like seriously?
This is meatpacking, motherfucker.
I know.
Yeah.
How awful is it to be down there now? You did nothing to spend money on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyway. I was down in King's Cross, and like we were walking around, and it was like me and like two of the actors from the movie, and like this homeless guy jumped up off the ground, like he was like passed out on the ground, jumps up and like points in my face. He goes, I know you. You owe me money. And I was just, and I literally, like, I was down there and like we were doing Justice League and I was playing Batman. The movie never ended up happening, but I got to train for like 2 months and with like the Australian Special Forces and like the whole thing, like doing gun drills and the whole thing. And it was like, it was like a kid's dream. So the guy gets in my face, points, he's like, you owe me money. And I was just like full of hubris. And I was just like, fuck you, dude. And I just walked around him and like we kept walking. And he comes back and he's like, no, I know you. You owe me money. And I was just like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not giving you shit. So I walk around him again. And then he gets in front of me the third time and he goes, give me my money or I'm going to stab you. And I look at him and I just go, fuck you. And he pulls out a knife. I think he was a little bit like heroined out. And like he swung at me like this, like at my face. So it just happened like in slow-mo where I was just like, whoosh.
So the knife flies by your face.
Bitch! And then I just like clocked him. Like after he finished the swing, he was like this. And I just caught him and his head just went, whack.
Holy shit.
And he just he fell straight down onto the ground and I stole his knife.
You took the knife?
I took the knife.
Yeah, good thing. Probably saved somebody else from being stabbed.
This dude's going to go around trying to stab you. He does not deserve to have this knife.
But not a smart move, though, because who knows what fucking DNA is on that knife, and if you get picked up with it, it's like, no, I stole it from a homeless man. I didn't have a knife for it.
Sure you did.
Yeah.
We got the Yank murderer.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Stole it from a homeless guy, right?
Well, Army, man, what a pleasure, man.
Yeah, great, man.
Thank you guys for having me back.
A lot of fun, man.
I hope you come back to promote Mirror Mirror. What the hell? Even if it is a rom-com, we're good. We'll sell you some tickets.
All right, cool.
But J. Edgar is in theaters Friday.
Yeah, it sounds great, man.
Absolutely.
Really does.
And our show is done?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes, Jimmy, I'm sure you have a
real quickly, this weekend, Long Island, early show Friday, both shows Saturday sold out. There's late show Friday tickets available. And for the Borgata, our second show for Antisocial is being added. It's myself, Artie Lang, Doug Stanhope and Dave Attell. That's January 15th. Tickets on sale this Friday morning. And I'm imagining it will sell out, so hopefully you'll buy tickets.
Of course you're going to sell out. I feel it.
Artistically, I have already. But I mean, physically, I want to as well.
All right, we're done. Armie, we'll see you next time. All right,
Thank
brother?
you guys.
Armie
Thank you very
Hammer,
much.
everyone.